All right, so today we're going to be dealing with a topic that we're all familiar with and well aware of. It's the topic of Israel is not done away. We know Israel's not done away because we're still here. But besides just knowing it, we're going to go into Scripture and show how the Most High had, and how the Scriptures prophesy, and how the Most High had said that we would never be done away because in prophecy, there are things that are yet to be fulfilled concerning us and concerning the children of Israel. So we're going to go in scripture on this. So especially this is key and is a it's a key lesson because most times when you bring to someone, especially another Israelite, and it's important that we inform our people who we are. And when we bring this to them, they want to say, oh, they're done away with, or what difference does it make? And so today we're going to go in scripture and show that we are not done away with.
All right, sister gonna send you. I guess he's doing the invite.
Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start off in Genesis chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 12, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Most High has said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee.
Now we know that this is the Most High speaking to Abram while he was still in Haran, in the land of the Chaldees. And the Most High spoke to him and told him to leave. He didn't exactly tell him where he was going or what the purpose was, but Abram's faith, he was strong enough in faith to do as the Most High has said. All right, continue.
Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Okay, so he said, if you do what I'm asking you to do, I'm going to make you a great nation, and I will bless thee. Now, we're going to go into Genesis more, but I want to hit up a precept upon this to show how we became this great nation. Let's go to Deuteronomy's. Hold Genesis because we're coming back. Let's go to Deuteronomy's 26 and 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before the Most High thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father.
Now it's speaking here of Jacob. Before Jacob had came into Egypt, he was dwelling in the land of the Syrians. That's why it says Assyrian like that. Continue.
And he went down into Egypt.
So Jacob went into Egypt. Continue.
And sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous.
So we know that Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and that the promise of becoming a great nation was passed down from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. So here we see when Jacob went into Egypt that he became a nation that was great, mighty, and populous. All right, let's go back to Genesis. We're going to go to chapter 46. We're still building upon this great nation that's spoken of, the promise to Abraham to make him a great nation that was spoken of in Genesis 12. I want to illustrate this before we go back to Genesis 12. I'm sorry, Genesis 46, verse 26. So we saw that Jacob went into Egypt and became a great nation. All right. Now let's go ahead and read verse 20 or Genesis 46 and 26.
Genesis chapter 46, verse 26. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, beside Jacob's sons' wives, also the souls were 66.
So everyone that followed Jacob into Egypt, the total number was 66. We know a score is 20 years. So a score is 20. 3 scores is 60. And it says, and 6. So it was 66 that went with him. Continue.
Verse 27. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70.
So the total amount of Israelites that went into Egypt were 10. We know 3 score is 60 plus 10 is 70. So when they first went into Egypt, there were only 70 that went with Jacob, including Joseph, who was already there, and his sons. So the nation of Israel started in Egypt at the size of 70. All right. Now, 70 Israelites entered into Egypt, but 600 men, not including women and children, left Egypt. Now, to get that, let's go to Exodus 12 and 37. Because we're still looking at this great nation that was built. Because this is the promise that the Most High made unto Abraham, that he would make of thee a great nation. Exodus 12. Your brother wasn't able to make it? Yes.
Yeah, he didn't give me a call.
Exodus 12, verse 37.
Right after Genesis. It's in the front. It's Genesis and then Exodus. Exodus chapter 12, verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men besides children.
So this is the Exodus out of Egypt that is speaking of here. So we see 600,000 men. The women and the children were not included in this count. So today, as far as population is concerned, there's more women than men. So we could easily say that there were 600,000 or more women. So that already puts this number into the millions, into a million, not to mention the children. So we went into Egypt, a small group of 70, and we left out a million plus strong. So this is the beginning of the building of the great nation of Israel that the Most High had promised unto Abraham that would come from his seed. All right. Now that we've addressed that, let's go. Let's get back into Genesis 12. We're going to read verse 2 again. Genesis 12 and 2.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Okay, so we just saw how he started to build that great nation. You know, it happened in Egypt, and now the nation of Israel is even greater as far as number and multitudes. And it says, I will make thy name great. And when you think of Abraham, Abraham is the root of the 3 major religions of the world. When you look at Judaism, you look at the Christian religion, and you look at the Muslims, they all connect back to Abraham. They'll all say that their father or their forefather was Abraham. So he made that name great. Abraham's name is definitely great. Continue with verse 3.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
So here we are. We're looking at these promises that are being made to Abraham. We just saw that he said he would make him a great nation. Now he's promising to bless all the families of the earth. So let's go in a little further on this promise. Let's go to Acts 3. Remember, we're coming back to Genesis, but let's jump into Acts chapter 3. So the Most High has promised Abraham to make him a great nation, and that he would bless him and make his name great. And now he's saying that in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So let's address that in Acts chapter 3, verse 25.
Acts chapter 3, verse 25. Ye are the children of the prophets, and of the covenant which the Most High made with our fathers, saying, Unto Abraham, and in thy seed shall all the kindred of the earth be blessed.
So this is Peter speaking to, as you can see, the children of Israel. It says, ye are the children of the prophets and of the covenant which the Most High made with our fathers. This is when Peter had spoke to all of the Hebrews who had came to Jerusalem for the day of Pentecost. And so many were saved. This is a part of the sermon that he spoke. And he's saying here, he's addressing who he's speaking to. Continue with verse 26.
Verse 26.
One thing I want to add before we go, he's addressing them, and he says, and in thee, and in thy seed shall all the kindred of the earth be blessed. So he's readdressing the promise that was made to Abraham's seed. So he's addressing Abraham's seed here, which was Israel, and he's saying, in thee shall the kindred of the earth be blessed. All right, continue.
Acts chapter 3, verse 26. Unto you, first, the Most High, having raised up his son, Yeshua, sent him to bless you.
So he's saying, unto you first, the Most High, having raised up his son, Yeshua, sent him to bless you. So he's addressing the nation of Israel and letting them know, unto you first was this blessing supposed to come to you through Christ. He's saying Christ was sent for you first. All the nations of the world will be blessed through Abraham's seed, Christ, because he will allow them to all, through faith in him and in keeping the commandments of the Most High, the whole world has the opportunity to be a part of this blessing. But Peter is making it known here, and then when we read Paul also makes it known. And this is something that we're going to get into probably next week, to the Jew first and then to the Greek. But what he's saying here is, to you first, as he's addressing the nation of Israel, having raised up his son, Yeshua. All this was done for Israel first. Read that again, verse 26.
Acts chapter 3, verse 26. Unto you first, the Most High, having raised up his son, Yeshua, sent him to bless you, and turning away every one of you from his iniquities.
Now again, this blessing is for everyone. All the nations of the earth will be blessed through Christ, because he was raised up for that. But it was to us first. All right, so now that we see how that promise of the blessings of all the nations is fulfilled, let's go back to Genesis, where we left off in Genesis 12. All this is building up to show that the children of Israel are not done away. We left off on the 4th verse of Genesis 12.